In a quiet kingdom nestled between two rivers and a ring of green hills, there stood a great stone tower. At the top of that tower hung a bell, tall and silver, forged long ago by the first king of Elderglen. It was said that the bell had magic in it. When rung, it would sing a clear, beautiful note that could be heard in every corner of the kingdom. The bell only rang once a year, on the Day of Light, a festival of lanterns, dancing, and hope. Children would stay up late just to hear its chime. As long as the bell sings, the old saying went, truth will guide our land. But one year, something happened. In a small village at the edge of Elderglen, a boy named Tomas lived with his father, the bellkeeper. Tomas was clever and curious. He liked to tinker with things, carts, clocks, even the hinges on the front gate. But he was also just a bit impatient. One day, his father would say, "You'll be the bellkeeper after me, but you must learn two things: how to listen carefully and how to be honest no matter what." Tomas would always nod, although he wasn't sure why honesty needed so much practice. The Day of Light was a week away, and the village buzzed with excitement. Tomas's father had gone to the next town to fetch fresh oil for the bell's great gears. "Don't go near the tower while I'm gone," he warned, "and whatever you do, don't touch the bell." Tomas promised, but promises are easy to make and harder to keep. The next day, Tomas stood at the foot of the bell tower, gazing up at its spiral staircase. "What harm could there be in looking?" he whispered. So up he went, step after creaking step, until he stood beside the great bell itself. It gleamed in the sunlight pouring through the tower's open arches. "Just a little push," Tomas said, reaching out, just to hear the sound. He tapped it. It swayed. He pushed a little harder. The sound rang out, but instead of a smooth, clear note, the bell gave a sharp metallic crack, followed by a warbling hum. Tomas gasped. There, near the rim, was a fracture. Thin as a hair, but spreading like a spider's web. His stomach dropped. He didn't mean to. He was just curious. Maybe it wouldn't be noticed? So he did what many are tempted to do. He ran home and said nothing. The next days passed in a blur of lanterns and streamers. No one knew about the crack. Tomas's father returned and checked the bell from a distance. "Looks perfect," he smiled. But Tomas felt different. He didn't laugh with the other children. He didn't help hang the festival flags. At night, he lay awake, staring at the ceiling, the sound of that cracked chime echoing in his ears. Then, the Day of Light arrived. As the sun set, people gathered in the village square. Children held up paper lanterns. Musicians played soft lutes. And at the top of the tower, Tomas's father stood beside the rope. With a proud voice, he called out, "Let the bell ring truth across the land." He pulled the rope. Clang, clang, clang. The sound was wrong. Harsh. Crooked. Not magic, but broken. The crowd fell silent. Some gasped. Others looked confused. Tomas's father stared upward in disbelief. A crack was clearly visible now. It glinted in the torchlight like a wound. "Who did this?" someone cried. Tomas felt the weight of every eye. His chest ached. He looked at his father, the man who trusted him, taught him, believed in him. Thomas stepped forward. His voice trembled. "It was me," he said. "I went up when you were gone. I touched the bell. I didn't mean to break it, but I did. And I'm sorry." The square was silent. Then a little girl, no older than 6, said, "At least he told the truth." Thomas's father stepped down from the tower. He knelt beside his son, his eyes serious, but not angry. "It takes courage to admit a mistake," he said softly. "That takes more strength than ringing any bell." He turned to the villagers. "We have lost the perfect sound tonight, but not our light." Thomas reminded us what matters most: truth. And the people, though disappointed, clapped. That night, lanterns still floated into the sky, each one glowing a little warmer than usual. Thomas sat with his father, a mug of cider in hand, feeling both lighter and stronger. The next morning, they began repairing the bell, together. Years later, Thomas became the bellkeeper of Elderglen. The bell never rang quite the same as before, but every chime carried a deeper meaning. And whenever a child asked why there was a line of silver solder along the rim, Thomas would smile and say, "Because telling the truth, even when it's hard, is what keeps the world ringing true." So remember, little one, whether you're big or small, old or young, honesty may sometimes feel heavy, but it's the one thing light enough to carry your whole life long. Sleep well, and always tell the truth.